Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of RE Radar. Once again, I am your host and realtor, Nathan Mathisen, and the goal of this podcast is to always be educating my listeners and watchers on all things real estate. And today I'm going to be doing that by interviewing Liat Arama. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Nathan. Thank you for having me.
So Liat has over 10 years of experience in the real estate industry, starting out as managing multifamily properties to now being the founder and CEO of Keasy.ai, a property management concierge service. So just getting right into it, maybe we could start off with you telling a bit about Keasy.ai and how it came to be what it is today.
Sure. Keasy is a result of me wanting to take a day off. I've been a landlord for many years. I own more than 150 of apartments myself. And as a landlord, you have to always be, to some extent, on call. You always have to be available to take care of problems. Of course, problems like to happen on the weekend, on Christmas vacation, things like that. So I was looking for a solution on how I can still be in control, but also take a break. And I was not happy with the offering property management companies, traditional property management companies brought to me. Keasy, what Keasy does, it's a landlord concierge. It's essentially, we tell our clients, we will answer all the calls from your tenants and we will take care of your collection. And then any other problem that arises, we will take care of it based on your instruction. We charge a fixed fee of $25 per door per month for the 24/7 availability, for the platform that allows you to make online rent payment, for everything that you need to run the business. And then everything else you may need as a landlord, we charge a la carte, leaving it to the landlord's choice how often and to what scope he would like to use our services.
Is Keasy.ai is it more of something you think is best implemented on mass investors, a lot of properties, or could mom and pop small time just own maybe a couple properties? Is it a great thing for them as well? How does that blend together with?
Great question. So to Keasy, it doesn't matter if you are, multi-units or just a mom and pop landlord. For mom and pop landlord, this is a fantastic service because they get economic of scale. They join a platform, they join a community, they get resources of a large landlord with a smaller portfolio. For larger landlords, of course, we have packages and we have special deals and we have a service that's called autopilot, where basically we will just do everything and bill you per use. So we really can work with anything. We can work with big, we can work with small. We're modular, adaptive, and we work with what our landlords are asking us to do.
How have you seen this property management industry change, and maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, over your time in that field?
Yeah, so when I started my first few properties, I literally ran my numbers on a pen and paper sheet. And then I had an Excel spreadsheet like 8 years ago. I had this fancy Excel spreadsheet, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm at the top of my career. I have a technical background. My husband has a technical background. As we grew, we started implementing more apps, more technology. It actually got easier. The more doors we had, the easier it got to manage. And of course, in the last couple of years, with automation and AI tools and all this latest and greatest that our crazy minds invented, it gets easier and easier to run real estate. So I think, generally speaking, the property management industry is way behind. Most property managers using old school tools. There's a lot of landlords out there that don't even offer online payments, such a basic feature. Not everyone offers. And that's why I'm so excited to start Keasy, because we're really bringing top of the line technologies and tools and AI into the space that so desperately need, catch up with time.
Why do you think it is that the property management industry has been staying behind? Is it simply people don't understand the access to this, or what might be the things holding people back from going the direction you're trying to bring it?
Well, I have two answers for you. For property management, it's a lifestyle business. You run the properties that you run, you charge a lot of money, you do less and less and less. Why would you change? It's working for you. For landlords, I think there is trusting the tech to do a better job than you. It's a mental process. And especially when you're dealing with your huge investment, your real estate, it's a lot of money. Even if the rent is just $1,000 per month, we're talking about a large property, a large asset that you own. Trusting that an app can do a better job than you is a process. I remember myself years ago when I've moved from paper to app, I ran double books for a long time before I'm like, okay, this paper can go. At some point, I realized that I make more mistakes than my app, and you just, you embrace it, but it is a process. Also, generally speaking, landlords are older. Most people don't become landlords in their 20s when they're adaptive. So there's also a generational transition that's happening and affecting our access to tools and our mind and abilities. And I think these are the reasons why this industry is a little bit behind the rest of the world.
Now, switching up the topic just a little bit here, I'd love to ask you kind of for your tips on building a business from the ground up and allowing that business to be scaled to any size. You've done it successfully, and a lot of people who listen to my podcast might be business owners themselves. So I'd love
Mhm.
to hear some of your tips for how to successfully scale up a business from the ground.
Well, we have a saying here at Keasy. We're automating ourselves out of a job, meaning we're building everything that you do more than one time in your week needs to be automated. And if you start thinking like that, then you're clearing time. You're clearing time. You're clearing time. And as the weeks go by, this time becomes time where you can develop your business, where you can, bring your more customers, expand. This is a gift that we got in our generation in current times. And I think this will be my number one tip to new business owner. Be efficient. Your time is the most expensive resource that you have. Save it and use it properly.
Exactly. Time's kind of the thing. Some people don't wrap their head around how valuable it truly is because you can never get more time. There's a certain amount of time you have, and the idea that automating as many systems as possible will save you so much time and allow you to then do other stuff that then can further it. It's all going to fall upon itself and just keep on building on that. That's great advice right there. Now, another bit on investment properties a bit. I've wanted to interview someone who has done investment properties and buy investment properties. So what would be kind of your advice to someone who wants to start getting into investment properties? How does someone make the jump into becoming an investor?
Well, I think that the first step, once you've made a decision and you're convinced real estate is the route for you, you need to understand how much money you're putting into this game. And once you know how much money you put into this game, you need to make sure that this money is sitting in cash in your bank ready to be invested. If it's in the stock market, you have an excuse. The market is high, the market is low, da, da, da. If you need to, if there is an, get that out of the way. Have the money ready. Once you have the money ready, go shopping. You now have your cash, so you know your budget. You can, run pro formas. You can start analyzing deals. Go shopping. See what's out there. Look around. My rule is if I've seen 10 properties and I haven't put an offer on any of them, then something in my process or in my expectation is wrong. So that's how I check myself whenever I'm on the market for a new deal. I know how much I'm going to invest. I know what I'm looking for. I'm seeing 10 deals. If none of them works for me, I need to adjust something in my expectation and in my process. My other big advice for beginners would be surround yourself with people you want to become. Go to clubs, go to groups, talk to other realtors, talk to other landlords, talk to people that are doing what you want to do and be empowered by them. That's a big one for me. I get a lot of energy from other people and I've surrounded myself with people that I appreciate and it has helped me a ton in my life.
What made you kind of want to go in this direction? What's kind of drove you to this field?
Well, they don't make any more real estate. You have a product here that has a growing demand and a limited supply. You don't need to be a mathematic or economy master to understand that this is a very solid, safe, and good opportunity. And for me and my husband, that was the biggest attraction in real estate. If you look at where the money goes, rich people, rich foundations, where are they invest, how are they preserving their cash. Real estate has always been a cash preservation and growth and a very big part of our economy. The government wants you to buy real estate. When you buy real estate, you are solving a problem because there's not enough housing and we need landlords. You can look at the different tax benefits that you get as a real estate investor, and this is a clear sign that the government would much rather have you put your money on the real estate market than anywhere else. So all these things together brought us to the conclusion that this is the field we want to play, and we've been doing this for over 12 years now. Better days, worse day, for sure adventures, but overall, highly recommend.
That's great. And just wrapping up here with a final question for you. What has been that biggest lesson that you've learned as an entrepreneur?
The biggest one, I've learned so much.
Yeah.
I think just do it. Just
Mhm.
get up and do it. And if you're not doing it, then you shouldn't do it. Move on, do something else.
I
That would
think
be my
that's such great advice because that is for a lot of people really the hardest hurdle. It's
yeah.
simply taking action and doing it. And then if you can do that, you'll realize you love this and you just keep on doing it. But if you
Uh-huh.
never take that effort, you'll never know. Or maybe you do it and it's not for you, but at least you took that step and you tried.
Yeah, totally. Analysis paralysis is a danger zone. It is important to research, to have a plan, to be prepared for your next adventure, but there is a moment where you're overthinking. There is a moment where either you act or you move on to something else. And I think that's when I look around, that's where people fall. That's where they get stuck. So that would be my number one tip.
That's great. And thank you so much for joining me today, Liat. You've provided some super helpful and educational info about entrepreneurship along with your company, Keasy, and the ability that it could have to help out certain property managers. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, I will say thank you to my watchers. Thank you to my listeners. I will see you next Tuesday for the Radar's Tuesday Tour segment. But until then, peace.